Hello everyone and welcome to another Avengers video. Today I am going to do a deep dive on what I believe to be the best Hawkeye build for anything but the Claw boss fight. And the only reason for it not being as good there is because Claw is resistant to everything that's not vibranium. This build is called NPC because that's how the rest of the team will feel in any stage involving ads. You will annihilate all of them on your own and you only need to do some proper sequencing. I have already given a short introduction to this build in another video, but now I got all the pieces to make it crazy OP, so let's take a look. As for the stats on the build, Valor and Precision are the main goals, and a bit of defense is not a bad call, but not really needed, especially in the exotic pieces where 2 stat rolls can actually push the stats even farther. For the slot 1, we just have one condition, the Rampant Overcharge perk. This will give us 200% heroic recharge increase while locked on is active, allowing us to recharge our ultimate in about 2 sparks or 2 orbs, which pretty much enables the whole build. We also want status and split shot. In this case I have Gamma, because the stats were great really. However, I also have a backup Epic with lower stats and Pim on split shot that does a lot more damage on the attack itself. And it's great to humiliate bosses. Check the description or my Twitter for the offline dates of these pieces. In slot 2, after over 700 reloads, I managed to snatch a Valor Precision Targeted Spark Tachyon piece, exotic, and this shreds pretty much everything. You get Tachyon up really often and your ultimate will trigger Targeted Spark on its own, pretty much self-sustaining it. I also got a legendary version of this and it worked just as well. That said, the unicorns are not really needed and a good legendary with Targeted Spark will work wonders for you. I got a Sonic example as well as a Gamma one, this one with Valor and Precision, and days for getting them both in the description and my Twitter. The defense slot is the least relevant, but I usually run a Valor Precision raid piece with split shot multiplier, so there's more chances at Targeted Spark. A good alternative to this is the Operative's armor, as it gives you the same bonus to split shot, but also makes you close to immortal while locked on, though the stats will suffer quite a bit for this choice. Finally, I also like the raid piece that brings the extra damage to Nightstorm arrow, so if you have one, try it out. It does boost your assault heroic damage quite a bit and that's great. And here's the key to the build, the Hawks or Eagles kit. This will trigger overcharge as soon as you start the ultimate, and then enables the rest of the build to go crazy. The ideal role here is a legendary with Berserker buff, but the exotic version also works wonders, it just means that you will not have damage buff up. The hidden perk you can see here is a 25% increased crit chance while locked on, and it still works even though the UI is currently broken. I also got a Berserker Spark version and the Legacy version of the exotic, that they do work well still, but they're not ideal. As for the minor artifacts, the ideal scenario is just running triple Valor Ices. I like the ones with extra ultimate charge, so that if we end up running out of locked on, the ultimate will still come back really quickly on its own. As an alternative, I also got a Cosmic ISO with Valor and Precision, and this helps quite a bit to survive in tough scenarios, but it's mostly needed for the Brutal Harm Room and that's about it. Finally, for the major artifact, the Norn Stone of Lethal Will is my main option, but the Ring of Nebulon is great for getting extra use from the orbs, so whatever suits your playstyle. If you want to do some extra elemental damage, the Tactigon is also a great option, and it does boost your Valor quite a bit, so feel free to try it out. Let's take a look at the skills. For Healing Arrow, we want to increase crit chance and also the option to get Heroic Orbs for enemies killed within the action ratio. As for Nightstorm, the key thing is to run Plasma, as it will battery off your ultimate. For the other specialty, you can either go for a wider area or increase the effect time, which is actually great for bosses. For the ultimate, we want to spec into the Double Shock Arrow to increase the number of hits, as well as add shock damage to it. And we also want the chance to get Heroic Orbs on kills, so go for that spec. When it comes to Mastery, most of the options are preference based, so there's not much to comment here. I like Pulsar arrows, so I have those selected, but it's pretty much down to you for the first 9 options in the mastery trees. For the last 3, however, those make the build, and they have to do with the overcharge status. You definitely want the extra damage one, as well as a chance to generate heroic orbs whenever you kill anything. But the last one is a bit more of a compromise. You might want to swap it around. I personally love extended locked on kills, because it improves the heroic uptime, but the extra crit damage is also great. You just need to make sure you have enough locked on time before using your ultimate, or you might run out of it. As for the champion levels, your main priority should be crit chance and crit damage, followed by increased heroic recharge rate and increased perk chance. The rest is just like usual, some armor, some heroic damage and then some ranged. And that's pretty much the build. Now we're gonna jump into a demonstration on the Brutal Harm Room, beating up a huge number of Exos and Adaptoids. But before I let you to it, I just wanted to let you know a couple of tips on the gameplay, as this build is all about sequencing. First thing to know is that your slot 4 will not refresh your lockdown timer, so you will need to learn how to manage it. The rule of thumb for me is to never use my ultimate if there's less than 8 seconds left, but you might want to be a bit more conservative when starting out. Then it is also important to know that while you're in your iframes for heroics, all the buff countdowns will pause, they will not go down, which can be abused. So when your timer is on the lower side, be sure to hold R1 when using your assault, because those 5 seconds with timers frozen might be enough to trigger an extra spark and recover your ultimate, or at least gives the Hunter's Arrow some time to kill enemies and grow the timer up. So in general, I try to use my heroics tactically and pay attention to the time. Oh, and using your major artifact will also freeze the timers for a bit, so keep that in mind. And that's it for today. I hope you liked the build. Please like and subscribe if you want more detailed builds like this, and as always, hope you have fun with it.